Welcome to Crack Pack. My name is Andrew, and today we're cracking open Wilds of Eldraine. Let's get cracking. Our first card today is a treasure token, followed by a swamp for our land. Then we have Primal Vigor for our enchanted tales, which for 4 and a green is an enchantment that reads, if one or more tokens would be created, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature, twice that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. Alright, 5 mana to double tokens and double +1/+1 counters. This is awesome. This is fantastic. This goes into anything and everything that cares about token generation. If you can make 1 token, why not make 2 of that token instead? If you can put 1 +1/+1 counter out, why not put 2 instead? If you can put 4 out, why not put 8 instead? This is going to very quickly find a home in the deck that I have that likes to create Scoot Swarms and Dreadfeast Demons. Because both of those in one deck may seem a little weird, but it basically the Scoot Swarms get created on landfall, and you keep doubling them out every time you drop a land, and then the Dreadfeast Demons at the end of the turn, each one creates a token copy of itself if you can sacrifice a non-demon creature or something like that. So why not double the number of each of those being created? I think it'd be really funny to try to wind up with this ridiculous board state of hundreds of both. Will that actually happen in a game? Probably not, but it'd be a fun goal to have, to try to get, like 100 Scoots and 100 Dreadfeast Demons. Is like, if you have seen something like that, or if you have another place where you would use Primal Vigor, let me know in the comments below. Next we have Sir Ginger the Meal Ender, which for 2 is a 3/1 legendary artifact creature. Reads, when Sir Ginger the Meal Ender has trample, hexproof, and haste as long as an opponent controls a planeswalker. Whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Sir Ginger and scry 1. Then you can pay 2 and tap to sacrifice Sir Ginger, and you gain life equal to its power. The stat effect of gaining trample, hexproof, and haste as long as the opponent controls a planeswalker is kind of meh to me. Like, it cool, little planeswalker hate, but I think the bigger deal is the +1/+1 counter and scry whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard. That is all of your food tokens, your treasure tokens, your clues, or all the random tokens that get created from all the other cards in the set, right? You have so many different ways to create foods and treasures especially, so this is just going to incidentally get pumped up really big by them. And then it still has the typical food ability of tapping and paying 2 to gain a bunch of life off of it. But I like the middle effect. Just throw this in a food deck. This is going to get huge out of nowhere, incidentally, just because it's in a food deck. That's probably about the only place I would really want this. Maybe in like a treasure deck or something where I'm just incidentally generating a ton of treasure and using that treasure. If you have other places that you would use Sir Ginger, let me know in the comments below. Next we have Twisted Fealty, Dutiful Griffin, Lord Skitter's Butcher, Evolving Wilds, Rhyme for Reindeer, Merfolk Coralsmith, Hollow Scavenger, Minecart Daredevil, Verdant Outrider, Quick Study, Barrow Naughty, and Diminisher Witch to round out the pack. Now for today's Pack 1 Pick 1. It's going to be hard to say no to Primal Vigor, since you can double your tokens and double your +1/+1 counters. And this set does have lots of both. So this is going to want you to be drafting into one or the other. It's going to be hard to have a lot of overlap, but I think that the +1/+1 counters is going to be the easier route to go, given that this is green. A lot of +1/+1 counters are in green-red, so you're probably drafting in that direction. But at the very least, green had a lot of +1/+1 counters and ways to also make tokens. So you're still open, but I think it's going to be easier to go the +1/+1 counter route than it would be the token route with this. Although I guess food was green-black, so you could go the food direction too and get twice as many food tokens. It'd certainly be an option. So yeah, this leaves you a little bit of flexibility, but it's really nudging you toward one or the other, right? Either having tokens or +1/+1 counters to double primarily, and you might incidentally get a little bit of the other. So that's my pick 1. There are other good cards in this pack though, so if you have a different pick 1 than me, let me know in the comments below. But that's all for today, so thank you for cracking along with me. Be sure to check back tomorrow to crack open another pack.